you think Trump would have gotten the same number of votes if the people who voted for him had access to or the curiosity to seek out and find the truth? Because they're not getting the truth over on Fox. This $780 some million lawsuit is proof of it, you know? So, and that was just one issue.
A-list actor Jason Bateman spoke with MSNBC's Nicole Wallace on the state of politics in the United States of America.
The truth tellers, or whatever book all the facts sit in from day to day, there is no attempt to hide that from the Republican voters. It's ubiquitous. It is.
I know.
You have to make a real effort to stay insulated from the facts and common sense.
I know.
It's everywhere except
it's insane.
on Fox or Breitbart or whatever the hell the spots are. I was telling my girls in 2020, I was saying, you guys are going to look back. This is the most fascinating year. This is going to be a hard one to beat with COVID and with Jan 6 and the rest. And it just keeps getting more and more interesting. You know, I joked earlier about the Trump show I'm addicted to. I really am fascinated. I can't stop watching the things that he does and the things that he says, and marry that to the fact that there are 80 some million people that would vote again for him tomorrow. You know, is just a social phenomenon, a political phenomenon that I just can't get my head around, and I don't want to ignore it. We are all neighbors. We all share this country together, and so I want to understand it. And I know that there's genuine dissatisfaction with their standing in life or the system and whatnot, and so that's legit. I'm sensitive to that. I respect that. But whatever section there is that is kind of doing it just to stick it to the libs, it's not Schadenfreude, but I am curious to see what they're going to do when, you know, eggs keep going up and gas keeps going up. And I'm not wishing harm on anyone, but it's tragic that I think, you know, the people who are least equipped to bear what the Trump administration is going to yield are a lot of the folks that voted for him. And that's really freaking sad, you know?
And he brings up some pretty interesting points that many on the left have thought of, including...
The problem is that nothing matters because no one's listening. Like the MAGA folks aren't watching MSNBC or reading the New York Times, where just one of the really salient points would be, why would this guy be slashing and burning and cutting all the waste and abuse and all that stuff, and then at the other side of his mouth say, I want a $45 million birthday parade? You know, like it's just they're at odds with one another.
$400 million jet.
And exactly, that could have filled with bugs, listening devices, and on and on and on. But like, you wouldn't even waste your time reporting that because it's not going to move the dial, because in the fire hose, you're not even going to hear it or see it. And so what do? People like yourself, you can't stop reporting the news, but like, who are we talking to?
The far right bubbles many on the right remain in. The echo chambers of, say, the Dave Rubins, the Tim Pools, the Benny Johnsons, the Ben Shapiros, the OANs, the Hodge twins, the Newsmaxes, and many others.
It's been a bit of a frog boil. As much as we are aware of that, of the heat, it did really sneak up on us, and it's not coming. It's here. We're in it.
Yes.
And like all the way up to and including, they're coming for you. Like they're literally knocking on people's doors today and pulling them out and shipping them off. And not just into their home country and get out of here, we don't want to see her, into a maximum security horror den. And so what do we do about that? It's really heartbreaking. And I refuse to believe that even though the folks on, you know, the other side are numb to it. They deeply care about this country, just like we do. We all love the flag. We all love the military. We all care about the health of the country. And I'm just heartbroken that somehow they found a way to shield their eyes and their ears from the current status, and that they could be so helpful to fixing that. It doesn't take a lot of them, just a few of them, to kind of say, you know what, my bad. I'll make a better choice next time. And you don't even need to admit it. I mean, that's why there's a little curtain you can close behind you when you go in the booth, you know?
More interesting things brought up here. But lastly, from the actor, and then we'll discuss.
There's a baked-in level of cynicism there, and manipulation and opportunity to tap into a large group of people that are aggrieved, and that, well, their votes count the same, so let's go after them because there's a lot of people that are pissed off. I can't begrudge them that because that's kind of the game of politics.
Yeah.
But, you know, once you're elected, it's like, can we now, like, actually help the country instead of continuing the cynicism and trying to put more people into, it's basically creating a larger group of people aggrieved with his policies, and then somehow convincing them that, yeah, I know I'm the arsonist, but trust me, I'll be a firefighter soon. You know, I don't know how he's able to do both.
There were a lot of bars here from Jason Bateman, don't get me wrong, but one that really struck me was in that first piece of video where he said, eggs keep going up, gas is going to continue going up. I'm not wishing harm on anyone, but it is tragic to think that you know people who are least equipped to bear what the Trump administration is going to yield. And in turn, a lot of folks that voted for him will continue doing so. That's what crushes my spirit, man. That's what really gets me, is that even with approval ratings on certain bills, like the big, beautiful bill, which I even have a problem with Democrats adopting, and bills that will cut childcare and Medicare and Medicaid and bloat the ICE budget from a few billion to in the 40s. And another dumb thing, Alligator Alcatraz, I hate the name. It's a concentration camp. And yet people will think that the other side is just as bad, which goes into what Jason Bateman is saying, is that we have lost the information war to so many people. So many people. I mean, I remember seeing a video, a TikTok of someone who is probably my age, maybe, 30s, early 30s, saying that they will talk to their dad. And their dad is an avid Fox News viewer, and he'll just spew nonsense over and over, which goes into what Jason Bateman said in the beginning. $780 million lawsuit is proof of their entire concept, where Fox News Corp, owned by Rupert Murdoch, argued in court when they faced that lawsuit that they're just entertainment. No one should take what they say seriously. They're not going off of facts. It's pure entertainment. But people do. That's the problem, right? Is that people think that this is real news when it is not. And Tucker Carlson, I know I'm ranting here, but coming out and saying, oh, well, here's the problem with Fox News. Brother, you did it as well. This redemption arc that he's on, no, do not buy it. Don't believe the hype. Awful. Come on, man. You're really trying to pull a fast one on us? When you were the enabler in a primetime slot? Get out of here. But what frustrates me the most is how so many people believe so many things without even doing basic fact checking. The basics. Going back to that TikTok, the daughter would fact check what her dad was saying. It was one Google search away from a credible source. That's it. He was saying nonsense about Zoran Mamdani. None of it was true. He was saying nonsense about Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. None of it was true. But where did he hear it? Fox News. So how we win them back? I think that is the big question that needs to be answered. And if you have the solution, thoughts in the comments below.